Yo, what's the deal, everybody? What is the deal? Peace and blessings to every single one of y'all. This is another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. Salute to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother, Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. This is a manic Monday, man. A reaction Monday. This is a situation to where we as fans are dejected, and we need to break this down, go over this game. We are about to be into a situation where we are going to be at the trade deadline tomorrow, and we want to break some of that down, you know, and we need to start, ramping up and kind of turning the page on, one of the more disappointing games in recent memory for me. That game was man, it was horrendous, man. It was horrendous. And it's something to where for myself, look, the reason why it hurt for me was the fact that the team was playing well. Brock Bowers was bad. There was a lot to work with. There was a lot to work with. There was a lot for people to be happy about them. They were moving the ball. Everything seemed like it was starting to turn for us, man. And losing close games like that hurt, because at the end of the day, bro, this is a team that when I look at this team should be 4-4 right now. This team should not be where they are right now. It shouldn't be 2-6, man. The Chicago loss and this loss, you had a circus field goal, the longest field goal in NFL history. And really, it could have been even longer than that. That guy could have hit that field goal from 75 yards out, man. It was just it, man. I tell you, it took the wind out of my sails in a big way. And yesterday, we had the post-game reaction show. A lot of you guys were in there. Salute to everybody in the chat. But if I'm being honest, man, man, I just I don't really know where to go from here. The only thing that I can do is we can break the game down. We can talk about it. And this is pretty much what we're here for, yo. We're going to break the game down. I'm going to be a lot more pragmatic than I was yesterday. For real. I'm going to be a lot pragmatic because I watched the tape. I saw some things. I saw some promising things, right? Like starting off, Brock Bowers, man. Brock Bowers was tremendous, man. And it goes to show you that, Brock Bowers means so much for this damn team, bro. He really, really does. He means so much to this team, bro, in a way where a lot of us didn't even realize how important he was. A lot of us didn't even realize how important this guy was. Then the trade deadline's coming up, and we wonder if the Raiders are going to be buyers, sellers. Are they going to stand pat? Are they going to do something to kind of right the ship here? There's so many things, man. But the most important thing that I saw that bothered me, man, was the defense, man. There are 3 entities yesterday that are really responsible for what we had yesterday. And if I'm being honest, I don't want to put all of the blame on Geno. I don't want to put all of the blame on, Daniel Carlson. We have to place a tremendous amount of blame on this defensive unit, and especially the linebacking core. Landon Roberts was not playing well, man. Landon Roberts was not playing well, bro. And I'm gonna be honest with you. The Raiders need to invest heavily in that linebacking core coming up, man. Because man, the effort that was put forward was shameful, man. Now, Devin White did what he normally does. He was a tackling machine yesterday. He had 16 combined total catches. Ashton Jeanty, did pretty well. He had 18 touches. He had 89 total yards, 42 yards rushing, and a touchdown. Brock Bowers had 12 catches for 127 yards, 3 touchdowns. He completely ate. And Geno Smith was 29 for 39, 284 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception. Now, listen, Geno Smith played well yesterday, right? And there were a lot of people that were hoping coming out of this bye week that Geno will be sat down, and I don't see that happening. I don't see it happening, nor do I think it should right now. You know what I mean? I think right now Geno has played well enough right now to at least keep his job, right? Right. But the one thing that is abundantly clear to me, and we spoke about this yesterday, it's time for the Raiders to turn the page on the way they've done business in the past, man. But it's time to change the way we do business. And I'm going to be honest with you, the way we need to do business is to draft a young quarterback. Now, look, I see a lot of you guys talking about, the tweet from Max Crosby that I read on yesterday's show. Shout out to Alex Turek. They say it looks like that tweet from Max Crosby is a goodbye tweet. I don't necessarily view it that way. I'm going to be honest with you. To trade a player as significant as Max Crosby, you have to have the blessing of the owner. And I don't necessarily know whether they do have the blessing of the owner. Now, I know that Jerry Jones came out earlier and said there's a trade that they have on the table that they cannot speak about. But I don't necessarily think that is Max. I don't think it's Max. To be honest with you, man, if it is Max, I'll be crushed, man. I'm a big Max Crosby guy, big Max Crosby fan. To me, he's the heart and soul of the Raiders, man. And I think it would suck if the Raiders were to give up on this guy, especially because of what we have here, man. I mean, I think if anybody should be out of here, should probably be Malcolm Koonce. Like, Malcolm Koonce has not played well, man. He was horrendous yesterday. Missed so many tackles, man. He looked effing terrible. He really did, man. Tyree Wilson had 2 pressures. He did absolutely nothing. Adam Butler had 3 pressures and a quarterback hit. Adam Butler was pedestrian as well. Max Crosby had 2 pressures, a sack, and a hit. He did pretty well. And Jonah Lualu, he did okay. He did okay. Now, look, man, but when you start talking about Max Crosby, I'm going to be honest with you, man. If you're going to trade Max Crosby, to me, the starting price is 2 first-rounders and 2 second-rounders. That's the starting price. But the problem with that is that, look, man, I want Max to retire as a Raider, bro. I want him to retire as a Raider, and I am not going to sit up here and think that it's okay. People say, well, we got to turn the page. We got 2 first-round picks. First-round picks don't mean anything if the people that are making the selections don't have a clear and concise vision of what they're trying to do. Now, to me, the timelines are a little off here. You have a 74-year-old coach. People act like that's not a thing. It is a thing. That is a thing. This man is 74. What is he going to do? Coach till he's 80 years old? The Raiders are not long for Pete Carroll. They're not. And then you have a young GM who's making his bones, his first job being a GM, a complete GM. His first job. John Spytek's timeline is a different timeline, bro. And I don't care what anybody says. And they need to figure that out. We're in a very, very strange place as a fan base right now. We don't really know what we're looking at. We don't know what we're looking at. Is this a rebuild? Or is it compete? Are we trying to win? Yesterday, being a team that is now 2-6, the Raiders are in a situation where, man, the season really is academic at this point, right? Now you're just pretty much playing to get back to respectability. And the problem is, we keep talking about John Spytek. The problem that I see is that Pete Carroll has a lot more stroke when it comes to what goes on in the front office than they made us to believe when he was hired. When we talk about Mark Davis as an owner, I think Mark Davis has been a great owner from a financial standpoint. He's been a great owner because he wants to win. He's been a great owner because he took the Raiders from being the poorest franchise in the league to one of the richest. But at the end of the day, the biggest mistake Mark has made is not making a delineation between who's running the show on the football side of things. Is it the coach or the GM? It can't be both. That's what the problem has been this whole time. And we can see that in real time. Yo, salute to my guy, JP707. My dog, man, becoming a YouTube member, man. Salute to you, man. Salute to you. Thank you, brother, for making the Wasted Talent Army grow in droves. Look, the memberships, this season's been a rough season, man. It's been a rough season, man. And a lot of people are not as invested, man. So everybody that stays here with us, being members, you guys, that's the best way to support the channel. And I appreciate you guys that continue to rock with us month in and month out, man. I know things are rough out there for everybody, though. Yo, my guy, John Rodriguez, I look forward to watching your podcast every day. Keep it real and always spitting the facts. John Rodriguez, man, thank you for the $5 slap of Rooney, bro. I really appreciate that, man, because right now, sometimes it's hard to find the motivation to do this. Like, I know I love my team. I love talking about my team, and I love talking to the nation. But yesterday, that was such a soul-crushing victory, especially because I understand the magnitude of what happened yesterday. Now we're fighting for pride. Bro, for us to make the playoffs, we would literally have to run the table, man. We'd have to run the table. We'd have to have so many things to go wrong for other teams and so many things to go right for us that I don't really see a way that we can make the playoffs. And the way it's been going, I don't know how we can get back to respectability. How do we get out of looking like a dumpster fire? How do we do that? How do we make this an organization that is not looked upon as one of the laughing stocks of the NFL at this point? This was one of the most proudest franchises there is. This shield meant everything to the National Football League. It meant excellence, bro. And we need to get back to that, because I tell you what, man, for me, I can't take much more losing, bro. I can't take it. I can't take it. Listen, I live and die with this shit. I cannot personally take all of this losing, man. And I don't want to check out on the season. I'll never trade my team. I'll never, ever stop supporting the Raiders. I love this team. But, yo, I got to get to a point where I have to make it right with myself and be like, hey, man, you got to calm down. It's crazy, man. Sweet Jazz. My two biggest takeaways from yesterday's loss are the missed extra point and the time possession. We lost 43 minutes to 26 minutes. Our defense was 100% gas in the fourth quarter. And that's a fact, right? But thing about it is this, right? You know how your defense is gassed and you have time of possession when the defense does not make plays to get them off the field. When you miss tackles, when you're in a situation from a down and distance perspective where, they're always in third and short. That's bad. It's terrible, bro. Horrendous. Raiders versus everybody. Can we all agree that Geno is trash now? He is a good quarterback, but he lacks that will to win 100%. I can't say that he lacks the will to win. What I think is, and I say this every single day, right? I think when you start talking about the middle of the road to the bottom third of the league from quarterbacks. These are men that can play the game. They're good football players. They can light it up at times. Right? But there are peaks and valleys with middle of the road QBs. There's peaks and valleys. There are times where they're cooking and they look like MVP candidates. And there's other times where they are playing so bad you almost wonder whether they should be starting. And that's what it is. It's a roller coaster ride with Geno. But what you're not going to get is you're not going to get a Super Bowl run out of that quarterback. That's not going to happen. And I hate to say it, but I don't see it happening. But guys, look, man, let's get into the game. Let's get into some of the box scores, right? Trevor Lawrence was kind of held at bay. He had 220 yards. He had 1 pick, no passing touchdowns. He rushed for a touchdown. He had 9 rushes for 24 yards and 2 tuds. Trevor Lawrence, man, getting it done on the ground. For the Raiders, you had Geno Smith, like I said, 29 for 39, 284 yards, 7.3 yards, a pass, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Geno Smith had retook back. He reclaimed his time. He is the interception master. Salute to Geno Smith, man. Yo, my guy DeMokes, I don't know how, but I blame wasted. Listen, you know what the messed up part about this, DeMokes, is that I blame me too, man. But you need to get that F out of my shot. F up out of here, you effing bum. Effing DeMokes. You're going to get demoted to the gulags, man. Demoted. Bro, this isn't rocket science. I don't know why Mark Davis doesn't tell the GMs to draft the damn QB. He also needs to take control of this shit. We need a franchise QB. And I think that is part and parcel the biggest reason why the Raiders have gone into the doldrums of the National Football League over the years, because we have not made a commitment to drafting a quarterback. And oh my God, my guy, Hug D's, not Hug D's, but CGR, my brother, gifting 10 Raider Nation unlimited memberships to the masses. Salute to my guy CGR, man, the mod father extraordinaire, man. I mean, my God. CGR's in the place, man. Yo, Graphic Raider has become a member. Salute to Graphic Raider. You effing bum. The F is going on. Yo, my God, why is the Spy Tech addressing the media what's going on with the team? Bro, I couldn't tell you. But, I mean, I don't know if there's anything good that he has to say at this point. What can John Spy Tech really say at this point if he doesn't have 100% final cut? What can he say? Salute to my brother Big Mike. It's a damn shame that the Raiders content is more entertaining than the games itself. Shaking my fucking head, man. Listen, man, some Raider content is more entertaining. Some. Because there are some people I want to treat it like the Gong Show and just go out there and say, get the F up off the air. F out of here. Effing bums. But salute my guy Big Mike. Facts, bro. And this is a family show, Anthony. This is definitely a family show. But listen, man. And listen, Raider Bubba, some. SOME, some. So, guys, let's go over the game a little bit right now. You know, the Brock Bowers went absolutely crazy. You know what I mean? When you start talking about Devin Lloyd being out, I knew this would be a big Brock Bowers game. We didn't know he was going to get as many snaps as he got. The guy had 13 targets. He took absolute advantage of everything. It goes to show you who the straw that stirs the drink in Las Vegas. It is definitely Brock Bowers. Now, Ashton Jeanty, 5 receptions, 47 yards, touchdown, 15-yard long. Trey Tucker, 3 receptions for 38 yards. Michael Mayer, 3 receptions for 26 yards. Jacoby Myers, 4 receptions, 23 yards. Raheem Mostert, 1 reception for 14 yards. And Ian Thomas, 1 for 9. The Raiders moved the ball and had 284 yards in the air. And on the ground, look, man, you know, the Raiders were not great. You know, Jeanty had 13 carries for 42 yards. Geno Smith had 5 for 9, which was crazy. I think he probably could have got a couple of key first downs had he run. And Brock Bowers 1 for 6 yards. So I got to go to the defense, man. Malcolm Coons had one tackle yesterday. One effing tackle. Darian Porter did terrific yesterday. He had 10 tackles, 8 solo. He did good out on the island. When you play that zone defense, being a good tackler is imperative. Being a good tackler is imperative, man. But some of the things I saw from the defense that bothers me, I seen too many people running free, unencumbered, just getting a free release and running into the middle of the field and just catching a football untouched. I don't understand how that's a benefit to the Raiders. How are you leaving so many guys when you schemed up for Tripp's bunch formation or something like that, when you have a guy just sitting there by himself? Crazy, man. Crazy. Juan Pineda. We have been trashed for years. It took us a while to rebuild the defense. It's okay. Pete came in and ruined it again. Yo, look. Think about that defense. We lost some key pieces this year. We lost some key pieces. We really did. But make no mistake about it, yo. My guy, James Morrison. Hey, wasted. Honestly, I thought we looked a lot better than we have on offensive wise, yesterday. And we all have to admit it's because of Brock Bowers. Like, bro, there's nothing to admit. It's not like we fighting against that premise. Brock Bowers is the straw that stirs the drink, my brother. We know what that is. We know what that is. Now, Jackson Powers Johnson had an 89.5 grade on PFF for blocking yesterday. So this is a guy that's definitely not the problem, man. Whether he's a guard or whether he's a center, he needs to be on the damn field. So whatever, Pete Carroll and the coaching staff have against, JPJ, they're going to have to figure that shit out because to me, he's our second best offensive lineman. Sweetheart. He's our second best offensive lineman, man. Hey, babe, do me a favor. What's up, baby? Can I have a cup of coffee, please? Babe, can I have a cup of coffee?
Oh, sure. I got you.
Thank you. In the kitchen, right?
Yes.
Thank you, baby. Appreciate it.
All right.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Oh, my God, man. My guy, CGR, is a new member, man. My dog, man. Appreciate you, bro. I mean, this guy is making a wasted talent army grow in droves, man. Making it grow in droves, man. Oh, my God. What the F is going on here? I said making it. No, I mean making the wasted talent army grow. I mean, what the F is going on here, man? God! Wow! My God, this is a family show, and I'm filtering up the show, man. Filtering up the damn show. I mean, my God. So let me get to some of these supers, man, and then we're going to get back to the show, man. My God. Raiders versus everybody. Can we agree that Geno was trash now? He's a good quarterback, but he lasted a week. Yeah, I read this one before. And guess what? I think you're a little wrong, right? I think that he's not trash. I just don't think he's good enough for us to let him be a hill that we die on as a fan base. I don't think Geno Smith is the end-all and be-all, and I think the Raiders should seek better. I want to see all the regulars out and put in all rookies, and let's see what we got. John Rodriguez, I don't think that is the smartest thing to do, right? You don't just go cold turkey and bench guys because people are trying to win football games here, right? But the thing is, you have to be mindful and cognizant of the way you use your rookies. You have to be mindful and cognizant of the way you use your rookies. You have to try to build towards the future because the future is not now, guys. This team is not very good. It's not very good, man. Raiders versus everywhere. If you look at the replay of the 2-point conversion, the quarterback was drawn there. Lawrence ran the same play on us and was further back. Geno's trash. Listen, bro, Geno made a mistake. It was a bad throw, but if we're being honest, this game should have never come down to that. Daniel Carlson, bro, is a guy that I have red circled to be replaced this offseason. And I know you guys are going to be like, oh, man, how you going to just turn on Daniel Carlson? I'm not turning on him. I think it's time for the Raiders to seek better. I do. He's missed a ton of huge kicks over the last few years. I mean, let's think about his 37-yarder. I mean, that he's missed. And I remember when he was with the Minnesota Vikings, man, in 2018, man, he missed 3 field goals, including a 35-yarder. in a tie game against the Green Bay Packers. Like Daniel Carlson sometimes allows the moment to get too big for him. And this was an issue, and this is part and parcel of the reason why he wound up at the Raiders. I'm telling you right now, my guy UA Mel in the place, man. When is it time to hear from Brady? Mark brought Tom in to be Al Davis, basically. We need to know Brady's vision for the team. I don't think we need to know their vision for the team specifically, right? But what I think we need to know is that there's somebody that is a steward up there that is running this organization that knows ball. What we need to find out really is how many cooks are in this kitchen, right? Because too many cooks in the kitchen spoil the broth. They really do. And I have to wonder, are there too many cooks in the Raiders kitchen, man? It's seeming like that. Now, yesterday, we got to talk about game balls, who did well, who didn't. Look, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I got to give my first game ball to Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly called a hell of a game, man. Chip Kelly called a hell of a game yesterday. You can say what you want about Chip Kelly, but not yesterday. Chip Kelly had a hell of a game, yo. For real. He called a hell of a game. You can't take that away from him. The players just did not execute. Second game ball, of course. I'm gonna give a game ball to Jackson Powers Johnson, man. Jackson Powers Johnson stepped up and answered the bell after getting taken to the woodshed by a Hall of Fame player, Chris Jones. But yo, he absolutely stepped up to the bell, man. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The last game ball goes to none other than Brock Bowers, of course. Brock Bowers was absolutely sensational. He looked every part of being the best tight end in football yesterday. It's great to see him back, and I really wish they would have sat him down a little earlier. But listen, there's a lot of trade rumors floating around, guys. Let's get into it. Let's get rocking and rolling. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Yo, there's a rumor out there from Josina Anderson that the Giants have had exploratory talks on regarding guard Evan Neal, and one of the teams was the Raiders. It occurred about 1.5 or 2 weeks ago, per league source. Evidently, it didn't lead to urgent action, but at the time, some said, nonetheless, there's been insight on who's been acquiring. So the Raiders are looking, man. That's if the Raiders were to make a move for Evan Neal, to me, bro, if I'm being honest, that would be amazing to me. That's a young, highly drafted, stud freaking guard that hasn't been playing that well for the Giants. And that is the kind of guy that will be the reclamation project that I would be looking for, yo. That's the kind of reclamation. I see. That's my kind of carrying on, bro. That's my kind of carrying on. Bringing a young player, man. A young player. We got almost 500 in the room, man. Get wasted with your brother wasted, man. Yo, terrible clock management in the last drive of the fourth quarter. Too much time for the Jags. No running plays. Snuck in an extra play before 2 minutes. Now, look, this is the thing, man. Brock had to score when he had to score because the Raiders have not really been good in the red zone. I say get their points, and hopefully your defense won't be porous and it can hold the team, man. And Raider man, you say you don't buy when you're 2-6. You do if you're in a situation where you feel like you're trying to build something, right? You do when you know the kid is going to be with you for a long time. Hey, did your mother make this? Huh? Yo. Thank you, Layla. Yeah, man. Thank you, guys. But yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Layla. Appreciate you, sweetheart. Tug these. Thanks for not blocking Bodega when he comes after me and mods. We have an unhealthy banter, and the two of us only understand. Yeah, nah, man. Look, man, it's listen, bro. I don't want to say it too loud, but you know, my daughter, she makes it a little too sweet. I don't like sugar and stuff in my coffee, but I appreciate it. Jesus Christ, man. Man, just ruin my damn show, man. The F is going on here. Oh my God. This is derailing my damn show. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Yeah. Y'all get the F up out of here with that crap, yo. Yo, listen, look. Let's get back into it here. Let's get back in. Yeah, I know, man. I know, but listen, guys. Y'all up here cooking me, man. Cooking me, man. But nah, listen, man. So look, I have no problem with the Raiders going out there and trying to improve the team with a young player. Because listen, at the end of the day, this is what this is all about, bro. It's all about the future, the building blocks for the future. That's what this is about. I have no problem with that. I actually mess with that. I like a team that is forward thinking. This is part and parcel of the reason why I was pissed off when they allowed Kalavion Chasen to walk out of the door. My dog, John Rodriguez. Wait, I'm 52 and easily understand why you don't like sugary coffee. Watch your health. Diabetes. Nah, salute to my guy. Longtime fan. We hired past successful coaches whose last gigs were low or mediocre failures. We're not built to take these chances. But listen, bro, and I want to get back more into the game, right? But I will do a little sidebar here, bro. We're going to do a little sidebar here, right? I mean, my God, we are going to do a sidebar right here. If you guys don't mind, if you don't mind, I mean, we're about to telling you right now. Sounds crazy. But look, the biggest problem with the Raiders, right? When you start talking about, what kind of coaches we bring in, a lot of the times the Raiders are not the destination that the darling of the coaching cycle wants to come to, because we don't have a young coach in place, a young offensive genius in place with a young quarterback. These guys don't want to come here and coach a team where there's no hope. They don't want to come here and get fired in their first year with a mediocre young quarterback. They want to have a young guy that they can develop or have their guy, right? And this is the problem, bro. You don't get there by always going around and trying to find a Band-Aid. You don't get there. You don't get there. These nah, man, it's the lighting, bro. And yes, I did. Yes, I did exfoliate yesterday. Nah, it's the lighting, bro. It's the lighting, bro. It's the lighting. I mean, what the F's going on, yo? Ben Thompson fishing is in a place, man. It's the lighting. But dude, the thing is this, man. I think that we're on two different timelines, and I don't want to ramble here, but we're on two different timelines, and you can see that. Now let's get into the game. I've been rambling a little too much, guys. Salute to over 500 of you guys in the room, yo. But and look, this is the thing here, right? Rich Mitchell says, listen, Pete got his guy now, and look how that worked out so far. Look, there's a piece of me. There's a piece of me that feel like the Tyler Lockett move was trying to be shoved down Raider Nation's proverbial throats. I think that Geno wanted to force the football to him. I think that Geno didn't go through his progressions. There were two guys wide open. You know what I mean? It was just, nasty work, man. Nasty effing work, man. Like, I don't think people understand how wide open Tyler Lockett was, man. I really don't think you guys understand how wide open Tyler Lockett was, yo. You know, I don't want to put it up on the screen because I don't want this to get taken down, but I'm going to show you guys in my phone. You see Tyler Lockett right there in the back of the end zone? That's how wide open Tyler Lockett was. Now, I understand Geno trying to throw him the football, right? But then look at the bottom. Jacoby Myers, wide open. Didn't see at the bottom where those letters are? Right there? That's Ashton Jeanty right there, wide open. So Geno locked in on him. He pump faked. And then now we have a situation where the Raiders are now 2-6 when they should by rights be 4-4. And he could have ran it in. He definitely could have ran it in. So we got to ask ourselves something, guys. Where's the season going from now? Where's the season going from now? Because at 2-6, you're pretty much eliminated from the playoffs. Thank you, baby.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she made your life better.
Yeah, that shit. It was like syrup. Thank you. Oh my God. Now people say tank, but you listen, bro. Everybody keeps saying hashtag tank. First of all, tanking is some loser shit, right? I hate that. I hate that. And second of all, you don't have to tank. This team isn't very good, bro. I don't see many more wins on this schedule. Seriously. Tanking is some weak shit. I don't want to see, I don't want to hear the word tanking in my chat. That's bullshit. We don't have to tank, bro. We don't have, what are we tanking for? And Big Mike's right. What are we tanking for? Mendoza? Are we tanking for Mendoza, bro? Like, bro, none of these quarterbacks this year, this is a year where the best quarterback is not necessarily the one that everybody thinks is going to be. The thing that I don't really have full confidence in is whether or not the Raiders are even going to take a quarterback early. Because with Pete Carroll being here, there's nothing guaranteed that the Raiders are going to go in that direction. They might think they got it with Geno. You do not have to tank, bro. You don't got to tank. You don't. Seems bad enough, bro. Don't tank, but at least play your rookies and see what they got. And I agree with you, John. I agree with you. I believe that there is. Whoa. Hug these. What the F just happened? Listen, this is a family show. Hug these and Big Mike, you have got to effing chill. This is disgusting work, man. Disgusting work. Hug these. What the F are you doing here? My God, Hug these. That's low-key offensive. I almost got a that crap, Hug these. He's on a gym high right now. You gotta chill, Hug these. No, hey Mike, he included you in it. He included you in it with that film. Hug these is talking about he's swollen. He's coming for you. I mean, my God. Sheesh, disgusting. Thank you, Hug these. Thank you, man. Disgusting in here. But listen, man. Shock Brown says, my wife and daughters are crying. It's supposed to be a family show. This is supposed to be a family show. You guys have got to stop with your filth. You have got to stop with your filth. I mean, my God, Hug D.
Gorilla looking smelling bitch. Motherfucker, you got me fucked up.
Hug D's, what the F have you been doing? My God, Raider Warport. Every time you say Pete Carroll name, my elbows hurt and my eyes twitch. Bro, that sounds like you got something else going on there, brother. Shit is crazy. But guys, look, we got to understand something here, man. The reason why a lot of us are very shocked and dismayed about what's going on is the fact that we don't know what direction we're going. Like when the Raiders are normally bad, right? We say to ourselves, well, they're going to draft a quarterback. If they're bad enough, they're going to draft a quarterback. We say to ourselves, yo, this is a time to develop the young guys. The problem is that with Pete Carroll being here, his timeline is different than the rest of us. And I think in Pete Carroll's heart of heart thinks he can probably run the table because that's what winners do, right? That's what, and listen, I don't want to dog Pete out. I told you guys yesterday, and I've been saying this for weeks, I like Pete Carroll. I don't like the fact that he has autonomy over the roster. You know? And look, it's his first year, right? And we have the same record as we had last year. It's been bad, just said, man. But what I will tell you is this, bro. Something's got to change, bro, because look, man, we can't keep going through this every week. And the Raiders played terrific yesterday, man. They really did. You know, Isaiah Powell is another guy that gets a game ball. 9 tackles, interception, broke up a touchdown. Isaiah Powell gets a game ball, man. He balled out, man. You know, but the thing is, the defense as a whole looks very porous. They got to make some adjustments. They have to make some adjustments in real time with Denver too. You know, and I don't know whether it's the fact that Patrick Graham is being micromanaged by Pete or whatever, but the defense was horrendous, man. For you to be, you know, on the field for all of that time, you know, the Raiders really got freaking, they got dominated, man. The Jaguars held on to the ball for like 11 minutes, man. They drove right down the field and scored. Right down the field and went for it on 4th and goal. And the thing is, Liam Cohen kept going for it like a game of Madden because they have no respect for this porous defense, man. I mean, yo, Tootin was running all over the Raiders. ATM was running all over the Raiders. Trevor Lawrence was running all over us. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I got to ask myself, bro, what has happened to this Raider defense? What has happened to Tyree Wilson? What has happened to Malcolm Kuntz? What has happened to these guys? These guys, yo, what has happened to Adam Butler? These guys aren't doing anything. Landon Roberts was out there killing grass, man. He was out there literally killing grass, man. Devin White led the team yesterday with 16 solo. He had 8 solo tackles, 16 total. Darian Porter with 10, 8 solo tackles. He did great. Isaiah Powell, 9 total tackles, 7 solo, 2 passes defense, interception. Jeremy Chin, 7 tackles, 4 solo tackles. Elandon Roberts, 6 tackles, 4 solo tackles. Now, Elandon Roberts was a guy that, man, I'm very disappointed in the effort I've seen from that guy. There were a lot of tackles, a lot of missed tackles by E-Rob yesterday, man. A lot of missed tackles by Malcolm Kuntz. Malcolm Kuntz only had 1 tackle, man. A lot of missed tackles, man. The tackling was atrocious. And I've never seen a worse tackling team for our Raiders in a very, very long time, bro. A very long time. The Raiders tackling yesterday, from what I saw, was horrendous. Horrendous, man. Now, we say Graham's defense is trash, but the funny thing is this, right? I'm not really sure what Patrick Graham's defense actually is. What is this scheme? Because this is not what we've seen in years past from Graham. Now, he leaves the middle of the field open a lot, but this is Pete Carroll's thing going here, man. That's what this is. This is Pete Carroll's thing. Like, bro, and I'm gonna be honest with you. And shout out to the JR Raider J Raider 007. Yo, I was more frustrated by the bad tackling, not being able to get off the field on 3rd and short, being in 3rd and short. To me, this game really got close based off of the fact that, yo, the Jacksonville Jaguars are the second most penalized team in the league, and they bailed us out with some big penalties. Big penalties, man. And when you talk about Pete's scheme, the one thing that I've never seen the Raiders do since Patrick Graham has been here is to allow so many free releases on the line of scrimmage. I mean, it's been horrendous. I see wide receivers running free, young, wild, and free, running down the field, open. What the hell is going on here? Listen, yo, Rick, 70 points in 2 games. 70 points in 2 games. Yo, hey, David Zahn, a.k.a. Beavis and or Butthead. I mean, what the F is up with you, Dave Zahn? He said penile. The F is up with you, Dave? This guy, man, crazy, yo. We're trying to play cover 3, which worked in Seattle because you had quick ball hawking linebackers. Thin last year and even 41. We have the slowest reacting linebackers, period. Bro, that you've never lied about that. I think with the linebacking core we had last year, I think this would have been a great scheme for Devon Diablo to play in. Then you have a rookie DB. You got a lot, man. You got a lot going on out there, man. You got a lot going on out there. And the Raiders are in a situation now where this is really a fight for respectability, man. It's a fight for respectability, man. I mean, Brock Bowers talked about, you know, the Raiders losing, man. And I love what I get from Brock Bowers, man. You know, Brock Bowers said it's not a great feeling. He said post-game, he goes, you want to come back in here and celebrate with the guys, and it sucks. You can't celebrate anything. I think we're definitely still working on finding that identity, especially that we're getting everyone back to full strength. So I'm just excited to see what the rest of the year holds, right? But it's the thing, man. When you start talking about Brock Bowers, Max Crosby, Ashton Jeanty, you know, me and Graf talked about this today. You see that will to win, bro. They don't want to lose. That you see the will to win. I don't see that from Geno, bro. I see a lot of excuses at the podium. I see a real laissez-faire kind of way about him. Well, you know, that's football. No, it's not football. It's bad football. Bad football. Yo, Donald, let me tell you something. You're going to the gulags. Gulags for you, Donald, Stacy. 30 seconds. Your crap. Talk about my damn colon on it. The F is wrong with you, Donald.
Man, you a bitch. You a bitch.
My God. You talk about my damn colonoscopy. You get the F up out of here. My God. Andy's in the place, man. I would be angry if we had something to play for, but our season has been over since the Bears lost. I mean, look, bro, you can say that. You can say that, right? But see, to me, it's all about respectability, Andy. It's about respectability. Nobody wants to see a team go out here and lose and get blown out, by the Chiefs and a goose egg, get shut out, right? Then come here and lose a game like this, man. It's all about respectability, bro. I don't think the season is over, right? I think we need to see a little bit of what good looks like. I think we need to see the team gel. I think at this point, I hope Pete is smart enough to play some of these young guys and watch them develop. And I think that the one thing I definitely want to see is I want to see Geno Smith be held accountable. Now, he played well yesterday. He threw 4 touchdowns. He had 1 pick. Looking at the box scores, you can't argue. But there were a couple of times in this game where he could have took off and ran and got a first down. There were a couple of times in this game where he could have made a better throw, right? And there's a lot of the times where I've seen him throughout the year when the going gets tough, Geno gets going and he doesn't play well. And the thing for me is the season is not over until it's over, right? You never know what can happen, but the thing for me is watching this team, I need to see a certain mark of an improvement in our young guys. I want to see Jeanty take off. I want something to build on, bro. I can't have everything being in flux yet another offseason. I can't have it. Can't have it. And listen, Geno's stats don't always tell the story. His stat line looked good, but his play was average. And the funny thing that all of us that are nuanced football watchers, we understand the difference between success and just looking successful. We get it. Substance. In my lifetime, the Raiders have never even been a respectable franchise. It's sad that us fans are accustomed to this BS. Yeah, Andy, you're right, man. You're right. You're right, man. And you sit up here as a fan and you try to look for something to hold on to, something that's going to bring you back next year. But what's really going to bring us back next year? But to me, it's not over because to me, every week I'm looking for how Brock Bowers is doing. I am looking for how Ashton Jeanty is doing. Ashton Jeanty. I am looking for how the offensive linemen that we drafted develop. This is what I'm looking at. So it's not over to me. To me, it's not over. I'm going to watch every game. It's not over to me. And most of you guys are too. Do I think they're going to make the playoffs? No. But what we can is we can turn this season around and make it a respectable season. Win 6 games or 7 games or something like that. Then that's a respectable season. And to me, I'm not worried about, being high up in the quarterback because none of these quarterbacks have separated themselves. I think because of the way the draft is going to fall, there are a lot of teams that are ahead of us and around us that have quarterbacks already. Even the Browns, like, is Dylan Gabriel their guy? Is Shador their guy? You got to ask yourself. You got to ask yourself, man. You do. But yesterday was a thriller, man. And I'm going to be honest with you. I knew we were going to lose the game when that guy hit that field goal from 68 yards. I was like, yo, this was anointed in the stars for somebody to make a field goal like that and make it look like nothing. Agonizing loss, man. But we had 5 lead changes in the second half and another 15 minutes to settle the score, right? The Raiders, we suffered our 6th loss, 30-29. And while the game came down to a 2-point conversion, this game was all about that missed extra point, man. Now, the Jaguars were close to putting points on the board in the first quarter, driving the ball down the field 81 yards. And then Trevor Lawrence went 7 for 9 for 49 yards to get his offense down to the 2-yard line, right? But Isaiah Malu picked him off. Well, Lawrence, rolled left and tried to force the pass into double coverage. And then it was Mal touchdown saving play. He knocked the ball out of the receiver's hands. So shout out to Isaiah Mal, man. He bailed us out, right? He bailed us out, man. Man, he bailed us out. Y'all can stay smoking that hopium. But if we being real, this team won't be respected for a while, sadly. Well, bro, all it takes is one season to turn things around. That's all it takes, bro. That's all it takes. That's all it takes, yo. Nation Nightmare, salute to you, man. Please restart the stream. Appreciate you, bro. But yo, like, look, like I said, that the missed extra point was the first cue we lose. Listen, most of the time when you miss an extra point, the game is over, bro. You're gonna lose that game because it's gonna come back. It's very rare that you miss an extra point and win the game that I've seen. But yeah, going into the Denver game, man, it's gonna be a tough game because they're on a short week. You know, almost nobody goes to Mile High and beat them, especially at night. This is gonna be a rough game for the Raiders, man. It's gonna be a rough game, man. And the Raiders were gashed, you know, against Jacksonville, man. They got to shore that run defense up, man. I mean, ATN had 22 carries for 84 yards. Tootin had 9 carries for 29 yards and a touchdown. Trevor Lawrence had 9 carries for 24 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Diane Brown, he had 1 carry for 4 yards. And Allen Jr. had 1 carry for 10 yards. So the Raiders gave up 151 on the ground. They were not looking great. You know, the Raider receiving core was not looking great. You know, with Brock Bowers doing what he did, he kind of made up everything. But, you know, our receiving core definitely needs to step up to the plate, man. Also, our secondary boys, man, they're doing better, man. They are doing better. Darian Porter is playing to a level that I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I don't understand every time I've seen that kid play why they had him sitting on the sideline. I will never understand it. It's incompetence. They make a field goal for 68 yards. Carson misses an extra point. That sums up the season. I salute Andy, man. Hey, Wasted. You know who should get a game ball? Raheem Mostert. How many times did he freaking break one on a kick return? Yo, Raheem Mostert was huge in the special teams game. Huge in the special teams. Shout out to Raheem Mostert. You absolutely right. Raheem Mostert definitely deserves a game ball, man. You know, and JPJ balled out. Also, yo, DJ Glaze played pretty well too, man. The line is starting to gel even with Stone Forsythe. The line is starting to gel. Man, yo. Salute to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother Wasted, man. Anthony talking about, hey, yo, pause. Get the F up out of here, Anthony. You can get the F up out of here. You want to host the shit?
Since you know what the fuck you doing.
My God, Anthony. You want to host the show or what? You wait, Mel. If we go 2-15, it forces a move to be made. That's what we got to hope for, sadly. But what move is that? Because I don't necessarily know what the move is. I know yesterday Chip Kelly called a hell of a game. People blame Chip Kelly, but Chip Kelly did his numbers yesterday. He called a hell of a game plan. Geno went out there and executed. That's all. That's all. Yo, salute to my guy, Nightmare Raider. Born and raised in L.A. Was an L.A. Raider fan as a kid. Good thing for the Dodgers. I've been able to celebrate one of my teams and want so much for the Raiders. We all do, bro. We're all praying that they can get this thing turned around, bro. We are praying. We're all praying. But, man, I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it sucks, man. I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel with this regime. And it's not John Spytek. It's Pete. It's Pete. Look how many, you know, former Seahawks that we got on this roster not competing and not contributing anything. It's crazy, bro. We don't have, like listen, I'm not a hope dealer, but I want to give you guys some things to be hopeful for and be grateful. One of their names is Brock Bowers, superstar. Second name is Ashton Jeanty. He could be a superstar, bro. Yo, I think we can be happy about young Darian Porter going out there and showing and proving. There's a lot of things we have to be thankful and happy for, right? But at the root of it all, it's the record. You know? And all of this stuff starts with drafting a QB. Just like I said, man. Exactly what I said. I thought I'd never say this, but it wasn't on Chip this time. No, that's a fact. Chip Kelly did his numbers. Chip Kelly called a hell of a game, man. You can't take not a thing away from Chip Kelly. You can't. But what you can do is you could put a little blame in a place of Patrick Graham. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. That is the biggest. That's the biggest issue right there. Damn, man, my man Zon said, it's sad when I have to hope for my Portland Trailblazers more than I have any of my real teams. Man, what are y'all talking about? You guys up ahead ruining the damn show. How about doing free agency? Don't wait for cheap players. Spend bank on skilled players and their promise at a 1-year proven contracts. Bro, you got to understand a lot of these older established guys in free agency, they don't just take the money. They want to go somewhere where they feel like they're going to win. Because if they win, more money breeds winning, and winning breeds money. I'm telling you right now. But yeah, man, I mean, listen, guys, this game was a huge disappointment for us, man. You know, and it is what it is, man. It is what it is. A huge disappointment, and it's time for us to try to move on, man. It's time for us to move on, man. I mean, it was crazy, man. You know, bringing in Tyler Lockett is just another issue for me, right? Because what we didn't want him to take away snaps from the young guys. Then he comes in automatically. Jack Best, 0 snaps for Sunday. Dante Thornton Jr. did not dress for the team. They sat him out, inactive. Unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable. Salute to everybody in the chat. Wait, with your brother Wasted, yo. My guy, Raiders versus everybody. I told you Geno locks the will to win. There's no way that a quarterback with that amount of veteran experience should be playing like this. The only consistency he has is throwing picks. Keep drafting QBs. And I've been saying that since he got there, man. Geno Smith, bro, is a turnover machine, bro. It's a turnover machine, bro. The guy has failed us on multiple levels, multiple downs. Like, you know, crazy, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Wasted with your brother Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Yeah, I mean, look, yo, this whole, you know, Tyler Lockett crap, this is yet another piece of what I'm seeing behind the scenes with these guys. This is yet another piece, man, to where I don't necessarily know. People talk about trading Max and this one and that one. I don't necessarily know if these guys are going to do the right thing with it. Wasted, it's Pete's fault that the D is crap. Look how good our D was last year. Wait a minute. Wait a effing minute, man. Wait a effing minute. I mean, that is subsequently what she said. Subsequently what she said. Geno getting investigated for EBT towards the Raiders. Man, get the F up out of here with your crap. But yeah, we've effectively been turned to the Seattle Raiders, man. We are the sea bags. It's unbelievable. They had good D last season. You have got to chill, Jamba Juice. You got to chill. You know what the wasted word of the day is? Exhausted. Wait a minute. Honestly, I really don't give a squirt of piss about Tyler Lockett. The thing is, I do. Because when you have a situation when Dante Thornton was sent pretty much to the practice squad, and you got a situation where, you know, man, you got to care. When you got Besh and Dante Thornton, you know, Besh not getting these snaps, Dante Thornton going to the practice squad, you got to care that Tyler Lockett is on his roster. It's organizational malpractice, bro. UA Mel, thoughts on Sam Darnold? We could have him. I like Sammy. I've been saying we should have got Sammy a long time ago, bro. a long time ago. But it is what it is. What I can't stand is every effing year on this channel, we know who the team should draft, and the pros get it wrong. Hashtag Jalen Carter, hashtag Christian Gonzalez. Yeah, bro. I hate it. I hate the fact that it seems like we know more than guys in the front office. I can't stand it, bro. I'll never understand it, bro. It's crazy, man. Unbelievable. I mean, that he can go. He's more of a negative out there for the future than anything. Now, Besh and Thornton is put on a back burner. Yes, that's 100%, bro. That's 100%. And this is what we were afraid of, bro. This is what we were afraid of, yo. The thing I need to ask is can Pete Carroll paradigm shift and turn this thing around? Can he coach from a prism of who's in the building as opposed to who he either wants in the building or should be there, somebody he brought from somewhere else? I need to believe that this guy can still coach at an elite level. I need to understand it. But guys, look, man, we've been rocking and rolling for over an hour. I'm rambling on. Do you guys want me to stay on a little longer? If you want me to stay on a little longer, I'll stay on another 10 minutes. But you know, I am beat, man. And you know the crazy thing? What I really wanted to go over before I left, because you know, look, man, we had the reaction show after the game. We went nuts. We talked about the game ad nauseum, right? But there's some trade rumors out there. You know, the Buffalo Bills is rumored to be targeting Malcolm Kuntz. You know, and possibly Tyree Wilson. The Buffalo Bills are making a run. So, guys, keep that in mind. Tyree Wilson and Malcolm Kuntz could be on the move, man. I mean, there's a lot to really work with that. I can see that happening, bro. There are some people out there saying the Raiders are in on Anthony Richardson. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Then we have a situation where Dallas Cowboy owner Jerry Jones says he confirmed on Sirius Radio a few minutes ago that the team just made a trade, but he won't disclose who they required. And on that trade, immediately we will have him on the field. So I don't know what the Dallas Cowboys got going on. I don't even know if it has anything to do with the Raiders, man. But it has me a little worried, man. It has me a little worried, man. I remember, you know, Crosby yesterday tweeting about how we deserve better, man. It kind of sounds like a farewell note. I'm telling you right now, man. I would hope not, man. Salute to my brother Hug D's, man. He goes, stay on or get some rest. Got a short week, raced it. Yeah, I know, man. I know, bro. I know. This junk has been fun, man. They say Wasted needs his get the F up out of here. I mean, you guys calling me an old bum or something, man? I mean, that's effed up, man. That's effed up. Ricky said Crosby is overrated, bro. Listen, let me tell you something. The one thing that Max is not is overrated, bro. Max is the heart and soul of this team, bro. Listen, bro. I don't think you guys understand how lucky we are to have had a player like that. Like this guy plays 100% every goddamn play. I really don't think some Raider fans realize how fortunate we have been to have this guy on the roster, man. You say Max is not a closer, but bro, at the end of the day, how the fuck can you close anything out when you're not getting any help and you're getting double and triple and quadruple team? The F are you talking about? I mean, like, what are we talking about here, bro? What are we talking about? Max Crosby over Ray, you tripping, bro. Yeah, it was nothing to close. Look, this defense as a whole, bro, You can't expect for that guy to just wreck a game with no help. You gotta understand something, bro. When you see Myles Garrett do what he doing, Myles Garrett is the very best, right? Myles Garrett has some help on that defense. He has a lot of help on that defense. Yeah, tripping, bro. You tripping, bro. I don't know what the hell you been watching, bro. But you a tripping. You a big tripping. I mean, like Big Mike said, double team chip, extra tight end on the side, everything. The F are we talking about here, bro? But there's a slew of Raiders trade rumors, man. You know, the Jacoby Myers thing might happen. And I'm surprised that the Raiders played Jacoby Myers. It low-key got me feeling like they're not going to move him, yo. It low-key makes me feel like they're not going to move him, yo. I'm going to be honest with you. Now, you know, I am hearing that Tyree Wilson could be on the move. Now, guys, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I think there are two things that are going on here, right? I think that the Raiders have a philosophy that they want to run, right? And I noticed this in yesterday's game. I'm going to get back to yesterday's game before I get off the air, man. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I think that a lot of the problems that are going on with the Raiders right now have a lot to do with Chip Kelly. I don't know whether or not, you know, Chip Kelly has something worked in his deal where Pete can't override him. But all week, Pete Carroll came out and said, we want to run the football. And Chip Kelly's been criticized for his unwillingness to, like, kind of commit to the run game, bro. But before Sunday, the Raiders were ranked 30th in yards per game and 31st in points. At 95 total yards, bro. This offense, this is not what we expected bringing Chip Kelly here, man. Pete Carroll is one of the best coaches of this generation, bro. And he brought in Chip Kelly and trusted him to be the guy to kind of help take us to the mountaintop. And it has not looked that way, man. Now, yesterday, Chip Kelly called a hell of a game, but it hasn't been like that, man. Crazy, man. Crazy. And I don't want to, you know, listen to, you know, Pete's press conference today, man. But yo, people in the building are starting to criticize Chip Kelly, man. And if they are, and if there's not some power sharing thing that's going on behind the scenes, that means that Pete Carroll needs to step in ASAP Rocky and make sure that this dude do what he's supposed to be doing. Now, listen, I know we haven't had Brock, but some of the decisions that have been made, even yesterday, 4th and 1, Geno throws a moon ball that Michael Mayer couldn't adjust for. We could have just ran it for the yard with Jeanty. That's what the hell you got him for. Crazy, man. Crazy. My guy right above, but wasted. The press of the day was a one-on-one with JT, was just more of Uncle Pete saying nothing but nonsense. No, I listened to it, man. I think there's a few things that I noticed, man. I noticed how out of place that Jordan Meredith is at center, even yesterday. I don't think Jordan Meredith is a center, bro. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they say. I wonder whose idea this is, but he's not a center to me, bro. Jordan Meredith is a guard. Yo, can someone stop by Geno's house and tell one of the nation to make sure that dude no longer shows up to practice? Y'all tripping, bro. You got to chill. You got to chill, Hug. Wait, you can't game plan with below average talent at the skill position players. Now, bro, that is not accurate. And it's not below average talent. Like, we got Brock Bowers, we got Mayers, we got Jeanty. Like, how are we below average? We start talking about the wide receivers. You got some young guys. And yeah, you know, you're not great there, but you're great everywhere else. We have our number one guy open in Brock. We good to go. But listen, guys, I'm tired. I think it's time for me to wheel a train in the train station. I've been rambling on and on. I don't know how much breaking down of the game we did today, but it seems like it was a good live. You guys enjoyed it. I think you did. I mean, could I be wrong? We gave out the game. We gave out game balls. We gave out some guys we think they're going to be in the move. Malcolm Kuntz, Tyree Wilson could be on the move. I can see it. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for pulling up, man. We got over 700 in the room, man. But it's time to pull a train into the train station, man. Thank you, Raider Bubba. Thank you. Somebody please on the way out block Bodega and block Bodega and block the Mokes on the way out, guys. Seriously, Darth Raider, man, my guy. I'm glad that we went for the W yesterday. Yeah, and bro, that's another thing, man. I forgot. You know, I was about to pull a train. Wait, I just got a second win with this crap. Listen, I don't want to ever say not to win a game, bro. There was some people saying that he should have kicked the extra point and tied the game. Are you guys shitting me? What have we turned into in this fan base where we would rather have a team tie? A tie is just as bad as a loss, man. A tie is just as bad as a loss. I don't want to ever hear, if I hear anybody in my chat with that crap, yo, this is not the show for you. You will get blocked. I'm serious, bro. Going for a damn tie. What the F is that for? The only ties I want are around my neck when I have on a well-tailored suit. The F is wrong with y'all? Oh, yeah, and just to be clear with y'all, on Friday night I had to go out, I had to throw on, a nice tailored suit. Was looking like James Bond out there, man. I mean, my guy, but I didn't have on a tie, I had on an ascot. I went full Charles Woodson. It's crazy, man. You always go for it. Just tie, baby. Get the F up out of here, man. Listen, man, don't ever bring up tying or tanking in my chat. I don't want to hear that shit. Seriously, man. Tanking is some loser shit. You can tank and have the number one pick, and then you fuck around and take Jamarcus Russell. It doesn't matter where you pick. It matters if you pick right and you have a clear and concise vision of what you were trying to do with this team. This is what we're looking for. The problem that I see yesterday is that we're in no man's land, right? Because we can play well, but playing well and having our quarterback throw 4 touchdowns still wasn't enough for us to win. And no, Mel, listen, it doesn't always matter, bro. It's about who you pick. Bro, these drafts, you have a lot of talent, bro. Let's just talk about the year that Jamarcus came out. We took Jamarcus, right? Calvin Johnson was picked in that year. Adrian Peterson was picked that year. Was AP picked that year? I think so, yeah. AP was picked that year. So then Marshawn Lynch came out that year. Patrick Willis came out that year. That was a draft that had so much time. Darrelle Revis came out that year. It is about picking. Joe Thomas came out that year. Bro, it's about picking the right player. It's about picking the right freaking player, bro. Man. But look, man. We can kick this around all day, man. We broke the game down. It's not good. We don't know what we're doing. The Raiders should be in full fire sale mode tomorrow. We need to start looking into the draft, who the Raiders could draft. We need to understand what's going to happen after this season. Is Pete Carroll going to stay? Is he going to get some of his power stripped away from him so we can really rebuild this team? Like, what exactly is going to happen? What exactly is going to happen? How much stroke does Tom Brady have with Mark Davis to get in his ear to kind of strip Pete of a little bit of his power? See, I trust John Spytek. I do. The problem is this. I trusted Tom Telesco. I actually trusted David Ziegler. But the problem is when you have a situation where, especially with David Ziegler and now John Spytek, where you have a bright young GM and they're not allowed to do the job that they were hired to do, that is a problem with me. That's a problem, bro. That is a problem. We lost a bright young GM last year with Telesco because everybody wanted to move on. But the problem is you can't keep bringing these GMs here and having a coach on the same standing as them. That's the biggest problem with the Raiders, bro. Telesco was doing good. David Ziegler wasn't a bad GM. He wanted to draft CJ Stroud. There was a lot of stuff he wanted to do. He didn't have a latitude to. I'm going to be honest with you. They need to stop this whole power sharing shit. It does not work. You listen, it is hard for you to be a great GM and a great coach at the same time. You're going to be mediocre at one of them. I'd rather you just be a really good coach and narrow your focus to that. And Hugdees has a great point. He goes, I believe Spytek is being quiet because he's going to walk into Mark's office at the end of the year and say, now let's do it my way. And, bro, I think that needs to happen. I don't want to see Pete get fired. I would rather see Pete step down. I think that optics matter in the National Football League. I don't want to see a situation where now we're back at the drawing board again after 1 year looking for another coach. I think it would be much more palatable if Pete did it in a gentlemanly way. Hopefully we can find a way for Pete to get on the same page with you know, some of the things that we want to see happen, right? And he get on the same page with these guys in the building and kind of turn this thing around. You know? You know, and Raider Man goes, Spytek bright. What are we getting out of this draft? Jeanty, it's all. And anyone would have hit on that pick. Bro, John Spytek was widely regarded as the pick of the litter as far as young GM candidates. You don't judge a GM off of not even a whole season yet. You don't do that. Some of the things that he's done with some of the contracts and some of the ways he's played some of these situations, I think was very, very smart. I think the Jacoby Myers thing was smart, how he didn't sign him. I think going and shoring up the Colton Miller deal was smart, team-friendly deal. Giving Max Crosby the money he gave him. That's really not hurting the Raiders. I think I think that John Spytek, from some of the contracts that he structured and some of the things he did a terrific job. I think that he's trying to acquiesce and please the coach and get the coach his guys. And no matter how the season goes, right, the one thing that I know is this, man. The one thing that Pete Carroll cannot be upset about is him not getting his guys. He got his guys. He got his guys now. But Spytek, Brady, all these guys, whatever page they're on, bro, if the page is to roll forward with Geno Smith, that is not, and not draft a quarterback, that's not a page that I am on, bro. Now, Alex Cappa was a terrible, listen, every move that you make is not going to be a good move. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and sing the praises of John Spytek, But I think he's a young, smart GM, and I think he's going to do well if you allow him the autonomy to build the team the way he needs to. Bro, and how the yo, look, UA, man, listen, bro. You here every day. I appreciate you, bro. How do you know that? It's this guy's rookie season. What does being generational mean after not even a whole year? Give the fucking guy 17 games before you start doing that crap. I mean, my God, maybe give him 2 seasons. I mean, what the fuck are we talking about here, bro? What are we talking about here? I mean, for real. What the F are we talking about here, man? God! Wow! F! Yo, but you know what's funny? You didn't see it in year 1 with Marshall Faulk. There have been running backs in this league, bro. Listen, UA, you're not much younger than I am, right? With AP, yeah, you saw it. You didn't see it year 1 with Ricky Williams. Ricky Williams had an okay first year, right? But Ricky Williams eventually got very, very good. There's some people that you see it right off the bat. And there are other ones that they get involved in the passing game. You look up 1, 2, 3, they have like a 1,000-yard season. Yo, Bijan Robinson is starting to come into his own. We didn't see that first year. I mean, it's week 9, for God's sakes. Now, at the end of the year, he has 1,000 yards and he has 400 or 500 yards receiving and shit like that. Then what? Yo, what exactly is generational? Like, yo, Ricky Williams. So Marshall Faulk wasn't generational? I just named Marshall Faulk. What the fuck are you talking about? He's in the Hall of Fame, for God's sakes. He's in the Hall of Fame. What are we talking about here? What the fuck are we talking about here, UA? And Ricky, look, let's not get it fucked up. Ricky Williams, had they not kept suspending him for weed and shit, Ricky Williams would be wearing a gold jacket right now. Curtis Martin. Yo, decent rookie year. Decent. You know, like a lot of these guys, they don't take off right off the bat. But the thing is what exactly is decent? What exactly was decent? Look, Reggie Bush that is not a great guy to use. But what I will tell you is this, man. I'm talking about Ricky Williams, bro. Listen, there's not that many generational backs, right? So, guys like Barry Sanders, Emmett, the Juice, all these guys, right? Walter. Some of these guys, you guys can't really even remember when they started. There's not that many generational backs, right? But Marcus Allen, guys like that. The thing is, for me, right? Yeah, Knapp had a great year. We already said Barry, all of these guys, right? It sometimes, bro, it's not a one-size-fits-all policy with this shit. You gotta dog, the season ain't even over yet. The season is not even over yet. And then you talk about being generational. How the fuck can you be generational when you're not even getting the ball enough? You're not even getting the ball enough. I mean, the guy got 500 yards, 3 touchdowns rushing this year. 20 receptions so far. Bro, The most carries he had was against the Patriots. He had 19 carries. The Chargers, he had 11 carries. No, the Bears game, he had 21 carries, 138 yards. Commanders, 17 carries. The Colts, 14 carries. The Titans, 23 carries, 75 yards, tutty, 2 receptions. The Chiefs, he had 6 carries, and yesterday he had 13 fucking carries. The guys had 124 carries, and it's an indictment on him? What the F are we talking about here? Listen, y'all. Y'all stay safe. Generational is something that they throw around a little too much, but I think Jeanty is a good young ball player. He was the right pick. He's what we needed. He's going to be a star for this team. And Big Mike has it right. You can't call Jeanty a bust, but then simultaneously say the O-line is ass. It's crazy, man. Hug these. I'll leave this last comment. Spytech is taking notes. Mark is watching. Pete can bloviate about Geno all he wants, but he ain't staying. I feel that, man. I'm glad they went for the W yesterday. What the hell is 2-5-1 record going to do for us, man? Raider Bubba, yo, stay on more, get some rest. Short week wasted. Appreciate you, bro. My guy Raider Dame with the $10 slap-a-rooney. Guys, listen, man. I think it's time for me to pull a train into the train station. There's 700 people in here, bro. 700 people. Love every single one of y'all. We're going to be back at y'all tomorrow. I think we might have a graph and wasted coming at y'all tomorrow, man. But listen, y'all have a terrific night, man. Peace.